Hey, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hope you guys are having a blessed day wherever in the world you are. It's Dr. Eric Naputi. Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday workshop. Every week we get together 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, and I do about a 30-minute presentation on different topics of health, and then I do a Q&A. So it's great to see all of you. I see people from all over the globe that are tuning in. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can see me and hear me, and let me know where you're watching from. I see Margaret's in Philly, Judy's in New York, Sandy is in Washington, the state of Washington. I'm going to be up in Washington speaking very soon as well, and I'm going to be out in Philly in that region as well, presenting. So give me a thumbs up. You guys can see me and hear me. Let me know where you're watching from. Tonight's going to be a fun night. I'm really excited about this, and I want to do some engagement with everybody. I want to answer your questions, and I really want to get into this tonight. Before we do that, I've got some cool testimonials I want to share with you. So do me a favor, type down below in the chat if you guys are taking any of our BioLimitless formulas right now. I want to hear some of the testimonials that you are having. I'm going to give you, well, really three of them real quick. So first, this is just from this morning. So I had a gentleman by the name of Bob. I've been taking care of Bob for a while. And Bob came to see me about 7 weeks ago. He's having issues with his prostate, so having trouble going to the bathroom, having a lot of pain and discomfort, bowel problems. He's having fatigue issues. He's in his early 60s. He runs a construction company, and let's just say that his energy's not where it's supposed to be or where it should be, and he's been having a lot of back pain and joint pain. I saw him this morning, and I said, "Hey, give me an update. How you been feeling? How you been doing?" We put him on the Cell Signal formula, the Master Microbiotic formula, and we put him on the Neuro Reboot. Here's what he said. Dude, why have you been holding out on me? That's literally what he said. Why have you been holding out on me? I said, what are you talking about? He said, look, I feel like I'm 20 years younger. I'm literally sleeping better. I'm flying up and down ladders again. We just had a bunch of storms here in the Midwest. Tornadoes came through St. Louis. So he's up fixing roofs and doing all the things that he's doing. And he says, I literally feel 20 years younger. My energy's improved. My pain is down. And I literally feel like I'm 20 years younger. Why you been holding out on me? That's awesome. I freaking love that. So then I want to share a husband and wife duo with you real quick. So this is Robert and Marcy. Robert and Marcy are really dear friends of mine. They're amazing people. They come a couple hours, a few times a month to St. Louis to see me, and they're on everything. They just ordered the Detox Pro Plus. They can't wait to get that. But the big thing that they wanted to do was they wanted to start a 45-day challenge. So they started a 45-day reset. They're about 31 days into it right now. And 31 days in, listen to this, 31 days in. By the way, Robert is almost 70, and Marcy's, I'm not going to say, but she's not too far behind him, but far enough, Marcy, if you're watching this. So here's Robert has lost 20 pounds, right, since he started 30 days ago. Marcy's lost 15 pounds. Robert says, hey, my gobbler, my under my neck is gone, and his crow's feet are gone because his skin has gotten better. That's what this peptide formula, these things can really do. It makes a huge, huge, huge difference with the body. And Marcy also says, my energy's improved, my pain level's down. She says, our kids are even saying, how old are you guys? They don't even know how old they look and feel anymore. That's how great they are. In fact, Robert said to me that his daughter said, Dad, you're starting to get gray hair. Well, he's going to be 70 next year. And he looks amazing, still dives, does amazing stuff. So I wanted to share those testimonials with you guys. So you guys chat below if you're on any of the BioLimitless products or formulas, or if you've taken any of the advice that I've shared with you, and it's positively impacted your life. Let me know. Put it in the chat below. So, all right, here's what I want to talk about tonight. Probably one of the most common sense conversations that we'll have that you've never had in your life when it comes to your health. I want to talk about something that changed my life and changed my practice life forever. You guys know I'm a functional medicine doctor. I'm all about the root cause of people's problems, and people come from all over the globe to see us to get the help that they need. And I train doctors all over the globe as well to help them fix the root cause of their patients' problems. So tonight, I want to talk to you a little bit about what I refer to as the infinity system. And so I'm gonna it's the screen behind me, but I'm gonna show you up on my screen. So I'm gonna pull up on the screen here the infinity system. So check this out. This is the infinity system. And so we're going to spend a lot of time on this particular slide today. Take a screenshot. You're going to want to tag and share this with a friend of yours, because this really truly is a game changing conversation. I've taught this to my patients over the years. Once they understand it, the aha moment goes off for them, and now they're in control of their health again. And that's what I want you to have. So you see the infinity symbol that's on the screen here. You see that on the screen. You see me down in the bottom corner of it. But what I want to tell you is, I want to show you the left side of this screen and the right side of the screen. So on the left side, the top, it says organism. That's you as a human being. You as a human being, an organism, are made up of organ systems, like your reproductive system, your digestive system, your nervous system, all the different systems of the body. Well, those systems are made up of organs, like your brain, your heart, your intestines, your skin, just different organs. Well, those organs are made up of tissues. Now, in my conventional medical training, which is just like all your allopathic doctors are trained in, we're trained on how to measure the left-hand side of this, how to measure and manage your symptoms. So let's say this person at the top has, I don't know, I'll give you an example of a disease. Let's just say it's diabetes. Let's say it's type 2 diabetes. I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. So let's say this person at the top has type 2 diabetes. Okay. Well, the reason why they have that is because their organ system isn't working, and that's their endocrine system, right? That's their thyroid, their liver, their pancreas, their adrenals. There's something out of whack there in that organ system. And those organ systems are made up of organs. So if you're diabetic, you could have a liver problem, an adrenal problem, a problem with your pancreas. There could be thyroid issues, but usually it's those types of things. Usually it's liver, usually it's pancreas. That's kind of the major organs that are problematic. Now, those organs are made up of tissues. So tissues are like muscle tissues, organ tissues, nerve tissues. Well, when I was going through school and when I first became a doctor, just like 99.9% of your doctors that are out there, they're trained on how to measure and manage this side. So they run certain blood tests, they measure your organs, and they give you drugs to manage your symptoms. Now, let me ask you a question. Would you rather have your type 2 diabetes managed, or would you rather have it reversed? Because it can be reversed. And usually type 2 can be reversed within 90, maybe 90 days, so 3 months, sometimes up to 6 months. It depends on how long you've had it, how much damage has been done, and how compliant you are. It's a lifestyle problem. Most people's problems are lifestyle problems. But I got so frustrated because my patients weren't getting the results that I knew that they could get. Listen, if I just wanted to be like every other doctor out there and just manage your pain, manage your blood pressure, manage your thyroid, manage your diabetes, manage whatever, that's an easy gig, because all I got to do is run a blood test, give you a drug, run a blood test, give you a drug. There's not much thinking involved with it. And there's also not much results. And remember, that system leads to the third leading cause of death in America, which is death from medicine. That literally is the third leading cause of death. It's called iatrogenic death. Now, about 20 years ago, I made a shift. And the shift was I got to get to the root cause of the problem. When I had the epiphany, which, by the way, a lot of other people have had epiphanies like this, but when I had the epiphany that your tissues in your body are made up of your cells. Now I'm going to the right side, which I like to refer to as the correct side of this diagram. So at the top right are your cells, where your cells make up your tissues. So when I learned that the quality of your health is in direct proportion to the health of your cells in your body, a light bulb went off. So then I went down the rabbit hole of, okay, well, how do we improve cellular function? How do we get the cells working better of the brain, of the heart, of the skin, of the muscles, of the testes, of all that, so I can make those organs work better, so the system works better, so the organism doesn't have symptoms, so they do better and all is good. Well, I had to go down the rabbit hole. And the rabbit hole is that your cells are powered by your mitochondria. That's a big deal. The mitochondria is the engine inside your cell that turns it. And I've shown you videos before. You can go back and look at the videos I've shown you, or you can go to BioLimitless and you can biolumis.com, and you can watch some of the videos I've done on cell signaling technology, because your cells communicate. Inside your cells, there are all these little pieces of machinery, if you will. And in this, inside the cell, is this mitochondria that literally turns like an engine. Well, as we get older, or we get more physical, chemical, or emotional stresses in our life, that engine slows down. That mitochondria slows down. And now we can't take food and fuel and burn it for energy. The food we eat turns into something called ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. It's what the body uses for cellular fuel. It's what repairs damaged tissue. It what gives you energy. It what helps you make hormones. It's what turns your brain on. ATP is the energy for life, period. And we have right now a global mitochondrial problem. That's why you're fatigued. That's why your hormones are jacked up. That's why you can't lose weight. So then I started studying, how do we positively change and manipulate the mitochondria? I'm going to show you how to do that, because every cell has mitochondria. So brain cells have mitochondria. When it turns, it makes the brain work better. Heart cells have cardio cells in them. And when that turns, it makes the heart better. The lungs, the bowels, the bladder, they all have their own unique cells. And the mitochondria turns to make those cells work. But then we realized that you have this bacteria in your body. You know, our body has trillions of cells in it, trillions of cells. Did you know that we have 10 times more bacterial cells in and on our human body than we do our own human cells? And the bacteria, the good bacteria, the probiotics, the thousands of bacteria, all the lactobacillus, the bifidobacterium, the bacteria that our body synergizes with, tells our cells how to function and tells our DNA what to do. So when I learned that your DNA can be changed by your bacteria, it really brought a whole new meaning to the idea of you are what you eat, right? Because 95% of the global population has some type of abnormal bacteria in their body that leads to mitochondrial dysfunction, that then leads to cellular dysfunction, that then leads to tissue problems, organ system problems, and then leads to you as an organism having symptoms and diseases. I know that's a lot of information, but doctor is Latin for teacher. My job is to teach you. I want to teach you how to fish. I don't just want to give you fish. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. If it makes sense what I've explained by healthy cells equals a healthy body, because we're made up of trillions of cells. But those cells are told what to do and function by your mitochondria, your DNA, and your human, by your bacterial DNA and your human DNA. So if you have a problem in the bacteria of your body, if you have leaky gut, if you don't take the right probiotics, if you eat the standard American diet, if you're filled up with heavy metals or microplastics, that's going to disrupt your bacterial DNA. That's going to throw off cell function, mitochondria, and even DNA expression. Well, if your mitochondria is not working because you're either not producing the right amount of peptides, that's right, folks, peptides actually stimulate mitochondrial responses. There are other chemicals in the body that help support and facilitate mitochondrial output, but peptides actually turn the engine. They turn that engine over. So, for example, there's a peptide in a formula that we use called cellular reset. And one of the peptides in there is a peptide called dihexa. Well, dihexa stimulates the mitochondria of neuron cells, brain cells, nerve cells, etc. So when you take the peptide, it stimulates the mitochondria to not only turn and make more ATP, in some cases, it can even help the body make more mitochondria. That's a big, big deal. That's a big, big deal. So we've got to have healthy cells. We got to have healthy mitochondria, healthy bacteria, and then your DNA. Listen, your DNA is not your destiny, but it is a driving point for your health. I need you to understand something. Listen to this analogy. Your DNA loads the gun, but your lifestyle pulls the trigger. There's a test that we do. I've been using genetic testing in my practice now for almost 2 decades. And the test that we run is a biolimitless DNA discovery wellness test that measures over 800,000 genetic markers in your body and gives you an idea of how you should sleep, how you should eat, how you should exercise, how you should rest, how you should supplement, all the things. It gives you a roadmap of your body. It's literally your blueprint. And what if the secrets, listen to this, what if the secret to real lasting health wasn't another prescription? What if it wasn't another, well, I guess I'll try this Vita Vita Vegemin or another specialist or another copay, but what if it was a system, a repeatable system that involves like living, breathing, like blueprint of your body that maps you out? That's that genetic test. This infinity symbol is a loop. You need to understand that that your health is not linear. It's circular. And it's really circular, like all of like this, like that infinity symbol that you see on the screen right now. Now, let me give you an analogy. Think about your house. What if you're chasing symptoms like most people are? What if they go home and their house has a leak, or a leak in the roof, and every time it rains, there's water in the basement, and all you do is mop up the basement. When the reality of it is that you need to get up on the roof and fix the hole in the roof. That's what I'm talking about. The right-hand side of this diagram is all about cause-based root care. I don't really care about the left side of the symbol as much as I do the right side, because if you work on the right side of this, it literally will positively affect the left side of this chart. Now, this is where healthcare is already moving towards. Now, we've been doing this for 20 years in our practices. We've been working on the root cause of people's health for 20 years in our practices. And so let me show you now how at BioLimitless, we have a solution to cellular problems, mitochondrial problems, bacterial DNA problems, and then human DNA. The human DNA, we don't want to manipulate your DNA. We just want to make sure that your DNA has full expression like it's supposed to. Because if it doesn't, then you're not living your DNA genetic potential, and you're at a higher risk for having bad tissues, because you're going to have bad cells, and that's going to lead to bad organs and can lead to diseases. So first of all, let me switch this over. Check this out. So here's what I want to do now. I want to explain how the infinity loop equates with our product line at BioLimitless. So first of all, the quality of the health of your cells in your body. You have to have healthy cells. It's all based off of the health of your gut bacteria and the toxins or lack of toxins in your body. So let's talk about that. So did you know that your cells, inside the cells of your body, first of all, the cells need fuel. And that fuel that you should eat should be based off of your own genetic guideline. Now, most humans are pretty similar. Most humans need more protein. Most humans need, actually, let me show you what humans need. Y'all ever seen the food pyramid before? Let me show you the real food pyramid. Let me show you the BioLimitless, the food pyramid reimagined. Because the food pyramid that you're used to seeing was bought and paid for. The food pyramid that you're used to seeing is not what leads to health and happiness. It leads to symptoms, sickness, and disease. And that food pyramid is changing. By the way, it's changing to this food pyramid. It's the exact pyramid that we've been using in my practices now for almost 2 decades. And this is the food pyramid that most humans need. At the base of your pyramid, you need protein. And I'm going to tell you, look, I know that some of you are vegetarians, some of you are vegans, some of you are meatitarians. I just need protein in your body. I'm going to tell you that across the board, most people are massively protein deficient. So let me tell you how you should determine how much protein you should have in your daily lifestyle. I want you to figure out what your ideal weight is in pounds. What your ideal weight is in pounds. Now, let's say that your ideal weight is 160 pounds. You need to try to get 160 grams a day of protein in your diet. That's right, folks. 160 grams, 1 gram per ideal body weight. That's what you should do. And it should be clean, lean, healthy protein, whether it's meat protein, which I like. I consume a lot of meat protein. I also consume a lot of vegetable protein. And I also consume a lot of protein from shakes. I do a lot of protein shakes. It's easier for me to get my protein in because I do a lot of intermittent fasting. Just so you guys know, I typically have my first meal around 1 or 2 o'clock every day, and I have my last meal around 6 or 7. So I've got about a 6-hour window that I eat in every day. Okay. And I fast for the other 18 hours, 16 to 18 hours. That helps so much with the body, with autophagy and cellular healing and cell signaling. And that's how our bodies are designed to live. But it's got to have protein at the basis. Most people over the age of 30 don't digest protein very well. That's why as we get older, our skin crepes, our muscles get weak, and we don't produce hormones. So if you'll focus on good, healthy proteins, number one, that'll be a game changer. And if you're going to have shakes, here's what I'll tell you. Any kind of shake is good as long as it's clean, as long as it's organic, doesn't have a lot of pesticides, herbicides, larvicides, junk, heavy metals, plastics, all that crap in it. But don't use soy unless it's fermented soy. So unless it's fermented soy, then don't mess with it. And if it's going to be whey, I'm not a big fan of whey protein. Whey comes from dairy. A lot of people don't do well with dairy. And most of the farmers used to just throw away that whey protein. Make sure it's an isolate whey, but any other kind of protein is perfect. The second thing you need in your diet is you need a lot of good fats, healthy fats. So eggs, avocados, extra virgin olive oil, organic extra virgin olive oil is a game changer for people. Coconut oil, MCT oil, all those things. Now, if you have a genetic imbalance, there's a gene called APOB4. If your body has a genetic imbalance with that gene, then you cannot do coconut oil. Then you really need to be focusing heavy on organic extra virgin olive oil and make sure it's real oil. That's a problem. A lot of people don't have that. Okay. The third is non-starchy vegetables and low glycemic plants. These right here, these are going to be your leafy green vegetables. Okay. This is going to be your non-starchy. So not potatoes, not that kind of stuff. So things like broccoli, cauliflower, kale is a problem for a lot of people. Just FYI, a lot of people don't digest that. But then the next thing is fermented foods and root vegetables. You should be having at least 1 or 2 servings a day of fermented food and root vegetables. That is necessary to keep your gut bacteria healthy. Okay. And then fruits and honey. Like if you're going to have fruits, berries are where you should be. Berries are where you should be. All right. But honey, I'm a big fan of honey. I like honeycomb and fermented honey. So this is really the food pyramid of what we should be eating. It's not at the bottom where it's carbohydrates and like that's a mess. You don't even see breads, pastas, grains, all that under because you shouldn't have it. You really shouldn't have it. I'm just telling you, you shouldn't have it. You do it, that's your decision, but in moderation is what you should do. So let's talk about how our formulas affect our infinity symbol. So our cells. First of all, most of our cells are toxic. You hear me talking about toxicity all the time. You know, the average person has 11 milligrams of microplastics in their brain. The average man has 8 milligrams in his testicles. No wonder we got all this crap going on. I mean, we got to clear the clutter out. You got to clean the crap out of the cells because when the cells get filled up with microplastics, the mitochondria get jammed as well. So number one, to clear the clutter out of the cells, the Detox Pro Plus. By the way, the Detox Pro Plus, because it also kills off biofilm, which means it's going to knock down bad bacteria as well. It's also extremely beneficial for our bacterial DNA. It helps our body a ton. So adults, 2 dropperfuls, 1 time a day. That's your maintenance dose. If you're trying to detox, we're going to get a little bit more aggressive with that for the first 45 days. But the Detox Pro Plus helps with the bacterial aspect. It also helps with the cellular aspects, and it helps with the mitochondria because it takes the plastics, the heavy metals, and all the junk out of the cell. So that literally pulls it out. Now, in this Detox Pro Plus, this is a very specific blend. You're not going to find this blend anywhere on the market. This is specific for BioLimitless. It was a biochemical feat of magicianry and engineering to get all of these binders and chelators and the Shilajit into this without any type of emulsifiers or any type of toxins or other junk that's there. So this is a game changer. Every man, woman, and child should be on the Detox Pro Plus for those reasons above. Now, the second thing you have to understand, first we want to remove the toxins, okay? Remove the clutter. Then what we want to do is we want to restore the bacteria. Now, Hippocrates, the father of medicine, said all disease begins in the gut. He was right way back then, and he's right today. So fixing, getting your cells to function proper has a lot to do with the health of your bacterial DNA. Well, you want to know a simple test that you can do to see if your bacteria is good? Yes, there's blood tests you can do. You can run a zonulin test. That's zonulin blood test to find out if you have leaky gut, or you can do a stool sample. Stool samples are not always the best. They get you in the ballpark. It's one of many things that you should use to decide on what to do. But but uh but what I'll tell you is uh sorry, I got distracted by one of the messages. I'll get to that in a moment. But what I can tell you is that if you take a glass of water, take a cup, first thing in the morning, you just get a glass and fill it all the way up to the top with water. And then what I want you to do is spit in that glass. It's just a spit test. Let it sit for 15 minutes. And this must be done before you eat anything, drink anything, brush your teeth, any of that stuff, because I want to see what the bacteria is like in the morning in your mouth. If after 15 minutes, when you let that sit, normal, healthy spit that's balanced should stay at the top. If there's leaky gut, bacterial issues, parasite overgrowth, some problems, that spit's going to streak or it's going to sink to the bottom. That's an sign of an imbalance of the bacteria in your body. If it's off in your mouth, it's systemically off everywhere in your body. So, how do you fix it? The Detox Pro Plus helps with that. But number two, you got to restore the gut microbiome. This is the master microbiotic formula. Listen, I need you to understand something. 95% of the global population has some type, has some type of dysbiosis bacterial issue, some type, okay? And when your bacteria is off, it's not like you take this and it turns a switch on. It's literally like repairing a forest fire after a fire went through it. It's going to take time to regenerate it. And just so you know, one antibiotic treatment, one 7-day or 5-day Z-Pack can knock out your gut microbiome for up to 12 to 18 months. And the average American is on 2 antibiotic rounds a year. It used to be 3, now it's 2. So what do? We put them on the master microbiotics, 2 pills a day, whether it's first thing in the morning, like it says on the bottle, or at bedtime. That's fine. I do my Detox Pro Plus in the morning. I put it in my BioLimitless living water, 2 dropperfuls a day with water, squeeze a lemon and a pinch of organic clean sea salt. And I take 2 of these master microbiotics. And then before I go to bed every night, I take 2 more. Okay. That's what I do to feed my cells, to feed my bacteria, and to help my mitochondria. Because again, if your bacteria is off, then everything else is off in the body. All right. Big deal. Now, if I want to get my mitochondria to fire up and my mitochondria and my cells to fire, I use a formula called cell signaling. So let me explain this to you. Our cell signal formula is a dual formula as well. This formula particularly does several things on the cellular front. Number one is it puts the body into ketosis. We can literally biohack the body into ketosis. And if you don't know the benefits of being in ketosis, go Google it and look it up. It literally is one of the healthiest things that a human being can do to help them reverse illnesses, sicknesses, to help them live longer, and to help them look younger. Like, it's amazing the benefits of ketosis and fasting whenever you're not really fasting. If you move that with a fast, oh my gosh, it's a game changer. It's why people's energy is off the charts when they take this formula. By the way, this gives massive energy to people. Massive energy. This stops people from having the afternoon crash. Like my wife will tell you, she does 3 of these in the morning and 3 of these in the afternoon. And it stops her from having that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, like lull, right? This helps with that. So the adult dose for the cell signal is 3 in the morning and 3 midday. For kids, it's usually 2 in the morning and 2 midday, or 1 and 1, depending upon their tolerance and etc. But that cell signal also has a dipeptide formula in it that stimulates the mitochondria of muscles, hearts, and gets the thermostat going in the body. It's got a thermogenic component to it, so it improves your metabolic rate as well. So a nice side effect of this, not only do you get improved energy, not only do you get improved cellular function, but you also get improved fat burn in your body. So this is not technically designed for weight loss, but a nice side effect of it is fat burn will happen. And that's amazing. But it massively reduces inflammation in people's bodies. So if you want to stimulate, like what I need you to understand is this formula doesn't cause you to have better energy, doesn't cause you to burn fat, it stimulates the cells and it stimulates the mitochondria. And a great effect of that stimulation is exactly what I just said. So that is huge right there. Now, peptides really fire and stimulate mitochondria. And in this formula cell signal, we have some specific peptides in here, but we also have some other amino acids like glycine. Glycine helps the body deal with detoxification, helps pull the toxins out of the body, especially those of us, which I'm included in this group. 75% of the global population has a gene imbalance called MTHFR. How many of you, give me a thumbs up if you ever heard of that gene, or if you ever heard of methylation issues, or if you have that gene, which basically means you can never have synthetic B vitamins, especially B12 and B9. They have to be in a bioavailable organic form, which is what's in the cell signal. And you can't have gluten. Gluten is kryptonite for your body. If you'll avoid those foods and you'll get the right nutrients in your body and the right B vitamins with glycine, that literally can flip a switch on in your body. And I've seen people with anxiety, depression, insomnia, headaches, migraines, fatigues, all that stuff get better. And ADD, ADHD. So many of my patients are coming off a lot of their medications for ADD, ADHD, for depression, anxiety, and fatigue by using the cell signal and changing their lifestyle. So it's a fantastic formula that's there. Then we have, I want to talk about some of the specialty formulas that we have. I told you earlier today about some testimonials of people who've done the 45-day challenge and the cell reset. By the way, if you've done that, type in below your results with the 45-day reset and with the cell reset, because we've had, I've had folks that have lost 20 pounds, 26 pounds, 30 pounds. We've had people 15, 20 pounds. Some people that just dropped 5 to 6, but they didn't have a lot of fat to lose. They wanted to gain muscle. They've done that with using this tripeptide formula. The cellular reset formula it has 3 peptides, BPC 157, which helps speed up cellular healing in all cells and tissues of the body. It also helps heal and seal the gut. So this formula also has a positive effect on the bacteria because it heals and seals the gut. It stimulates the mitochondria of the gut and of the cells, and it stimulates cellular health. The second peptide that's in here is called SLOOP. And SLOOP is really, technically, SLOOP is not a peptide. It's a peptide-like compound. And what it does is it stimulates aerobic activity on a cellular level. So it stimulates the mitochondria and the cells of the cardiovascular system and muscles. So your muscles, your heart, your lungs, your diaphragm all get stimulated by this. This is literally referred to as exercise in a bottle. And then the last peptide that's in here is a peptide called 5-amino-1. And 5-amino-1 does a lot of things on a cellular level. The first thing it does, and most important thing it does I can't lean forward enough, but on a DNA standpoint, it helps the body deal with DNA damage as we age. There's an enzyme, somebody write this down, NNMT. NNMT. It's a specific enzyme that is the enzyme that for aging, it breaks down our body. If we look older, if we feel older, if we can't, we don't have energy with these things, it's from the NNMT, okay, being high. So the more physical, chemical, and emotional stress you have, the more NNMT you have, and 5-amino-1 in this blend can turn that down. It also stimulates the liver, the hepatic cells to turn on. So it stimulates the mitochondria right here in the liver cells to grab fat and burn fat. And this helps you save your muscles, which is a big issue with a lot of people that have done Ozempic, Wegovy, all those things. But here's the thing. You can use this formula and it's going to stimulate your cells. But if you don't eat properly, right, if you don't have the right food, you're wasting your opportunity to maximize your benefits. It's kind of like, I don't know if any of you ever seen this, but there's a cartoon called South Park. It's a little risque, right? But South Park, there's a character in there, his name's Cartman. And Cartman started eating a thing of protein every day. And he's like, I'm going to get so ripped and so jacked. but he didn't go to the gym. He didn't eat right. Guess what he got? He got fatter. He got sicker. He got more overweight because he didn't change his lifestyle. You cannot out supplement a poor lifestyle. But this cellular reset stimulates the mitochondria and it stimulates the cells and it regulates enzymes in the body as well. And then the last specialty product we have is the Neuro Reboot. This one has become a game changer for a lot of my patients with neurocognitive dysfunction. People that have things like, senior moments. Sometimes people refer to these as early signs of dementia or Alzheimer's. Type 3 diabetes is early onset Alzheimer's. People's brains aren't firing like it's supposed to. This is a tripeptide formula, again, that stimulates the cells, the mitochondria, and the gut bacteria to help wire and fire brain activity and nerve activity. People have neuropathies, they have brain dysfunction, post-concussion syndrome. Some folks with migraines and headaches benefit immensely from that Neuro Reboot. Most people are going to take one in the morning and one midday. Some people will take two first thing in the morning, but some folks are now playing with the Neuro Reboot and taking one in the evening time. And as long as it doesn't disrupt your sleep, it's really helping people get to bed, which people are saying, well, how's that possible? It's a stimulant. Well, ADD, ADHD is a stimulant and it calms people down as well. So it's just a matter of how these compounds affect your body. So you can see that the BioLimitless ecosystem, all the products and the testing that we offer really truly affects this. I'm going to show you again this this slide right here, the infinity slide. And I want us to focus on the right side of this equation, not focusing on symptoms and diseases, not focusing on my thyroid's bad or my liver's bad. Or what I want to find out is why. Why is the thyroid bad? Well, it's because the tissues are bad. Why is the tissue bad? Well, it's because the cells of that tissue are bad. Okay, well, how do we fix that? Well, we have to make sure we're living our genetic lifestyle. We're supporting our bacterial DNA. We're making sure that our body's clean of toxins so we can have mitochondria working. And then we're going to stimulate our mitochondria with peptides and certain nutrients. And then we're going to make sure that our cells are healthy by giving it cellular health, by increasing the cellular voltage of it. That's what the cell signal formula does. It increases the electrical output and cellular production of ATP. It's pretty phenomenal of how that works. So you can see our system really works phenomenal for really helping people get to the root cause of their problems. And you're going to find that what you see with our product line is really, that's what I treat my patients with. In a functional medicine practice, most people who come see me, I put them on a 90-day supply of what their body needs. Most people start out right out of the gate with Detox Pro Plus, with Master Microbiotics, and with the cell signal. They do this plus the DNA test, and that gets them on the right track. Now, a lot of folks also have metabolic issues, and the cellular reset is a great place to start. I mean, if you guys have not seen the 45-day reset, this is a powerful deal. Our 45-day easy reset challenge. So we got a workbook that you can download for free from biolimus.com. We got our cell reset that you can go and purchase now through your back office, or get a link from a friend that sent you here. If you don't have one, we can give you a link so that you can get into the ecosystem, and then we can get you started with these processes. But the cellular reset formula and the 45 Easy have been a game changer. I will tell you that most people are adding the cell signal to that because it automatically shifts the body from a sugar burner to a fat burner. And that's really where magic happens. That's really where magic happens that really helps the body, do all these things. So it's really, really, really phenomenal. So, okay, cool. So first of all, give me a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this so far. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some Q&A. So type your questions in the chat, and then I'll answer those. If you don't want me to bring your name up or to bring the question up there, just say answer anonymous or anonymous response, please. Go ahead and do that. So go ahead and put your questions in, and I'm happy to answer them, especially about products, about technology, and all those kinds of things. So Miss Barb has a question. A great question, by the way. Barb says, let me pull it up. Okay, so Barb says, Hey, there are doctors on her team that would like to have a practitioner's call to ask more technical questions. Are there calls like that? Absolutely. So I do a lot of AMAs. Here's what I'll tell you. We have a lot more regimented schedule. You're going to be seeing that every Sunday. I'm going to put out a schedule that says, okay, Monday I'm here, Tuesday I'm here, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's how you guys can engage with us. I want a weekly schedule so that you know where we're going to be, so that you can put people on the AMAs, because I like doing the Ask Me Anything, and that's really, really a great place to be. Now, if you go to biolimitless.com, and look under the collections, and go to the collections and look under professionals, you're going to see that there's multiple videos on there that I've done on all the products already. And every single product has a video of how I explain it to my patients, how I explain it to a practitioner, how we prescribe it, how we use it. And then it also has, if you go and look on biolimitless.com and click on any of the products, you can watch the product video about it. You can watch the doctor explanation about it. You can also see the facts panel that has all the information about the product in it. And then if you'll also look, I've got a tremendous amount of research on biolimitless.com. All those resources are there for doctors so that they can go and look at all the medical journals and the studies that are correlative with the product. So that's really, really good. Really good. Thanks, Barb, for that question. Any more, put them in there. Okay. All right. So next question. Susan says, where do we get some of these PowerPoints, slides, and etc.? Well, first of all, if you go to biolimitless.com, they're all there. Biolimitless.com, they're all there. If you are now, Biolimitless is a really unique brand, or really unique entity, if you will, and it's unlike anything else that's out there. There is a network marketing component, a direct sales component to it. So if you're already in that organization, in your back office, you'll have access to all the PowerPoints as well. If not, then you can go and go to biolimitless.com, and you can see all the PowerPoints are there for all the different products. I've got one for all of there's like 140 slide deck that's on there. I mean, biolimitless.com has ridiculous amount of information. You guys should go there and check it out and play around on that. So I hope that helps answer the question. Okay. All right. Here's a question. This one's anonymous. Someone says, hey, I've suffered all my life with hemorrhoids that bleed frequently, clear blood. Interesting. How do I control and eliminate them? You can answer this in private if that's better. Okay, this is a great question. I'm just going to answer it publicly, but I won't say your name. Okay. So here's what I'll tell you is look, hemorrhoids are normally a problem with the liver. Okay. Normally hemorrhoids are a liver problem. Now, you can also have hemorrhoids if you have constipation issues. If you're not having at least one bowel movement a day, one solid bowel movement a day that you don't have to strain for, then we're okay. But if that's an issue, then we got to deal with the constipation. Usually with constipation, you're not getting enough fiber in your diet, so not enough vegetables or not enough green apples. By the way, that's one reason why an apple a day will keep the doctor away, because it keeps your liver clean and your bowels moving. Green apples, organic green apples, are the best. And then hydration. Make sure you're getting enough water in your system. And if you're getting enough hydration and you're getting enough fiber, then there's got to be another reason why you've got constipation. And that's usually because your body's bacteria is off. So start on the Master Microbiotic formula, and start on the Detox Pro Plus. The Detox Pro Plus helps with the gut bacteria, helps with gut motility, and bacterial balance, but it also helps with phase 1 and phase 2 liver detoxification. This is a very strong liver detoxifier in the body. Really helps open up both that phase 1 and phase 2 pathways. It helps pull out microplastics, heavy metals, and glyphosates and all that stuff out of the body. So this can also help massively with hemorrhoids because of the liver component. Then look at your diet. Make sure that you're eating that food pyramid I showed you, where you're prioritizing protein, then you're eating good healthy fats, then you're getting leafy green vegetables, fermented vegetables in your system, staying away from processed food and junk. Got to clear up that liver. That's a big one. What else can you do for hemorrhoids? So milk thistle, 750 to 1,000 milligrams a day of milk thistle is really good to clean out the liver. If your bowels are really backed up, magnesium citrate. Okay, there's a lot of different types of magnesium. The only reason why I would ever recommend magnesium citrate, we call it magnesium shitrate, because it helps the bowels move. And usually it's about 500 milligrams to 600 milligrams a day to get the bowels moving. Usually after about 3 days, man, they're going and flowing and you're cleaned out and you're good. Also, with hemorrhoids, you just need to check the structure of your body, because there could be some issues with the lumbar spine, L3, L4, L5. If there's joint dysfunction or abnormal mechanics there, that can cause a kinking of movement through the bowels, cause you to have to put extra pressure. So I would start with that. If that doesn't clear up by doing what I just told you in 6 weeks, then let me know and we can do some more stuff. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that will help you. All right. What other questions do you got? Miss Terry's got one. Terry says, do any of the products help with skin tags? Great question. So what do you know about skin tags? Do you know that most common cause of skin tags is insulin resistance? Do you know that that your body's a sign of overconsumption of carbohydrates, not enough protein? And I'll tell you that there's almost always with skin tags, not just insulin resistance, but elevated A1C levels. If your blood tests are above a 5.6 A1C, that could be one of the contributing factors for skin tags. Now, skin tags are easy to remove, but they'll keep coming back until you fix the root cause of the problem. So skin tags, we look, number one, at blood sugars, and number two, we look at the liver. Okay. The liver being toxic, not moving like it's supposed to, or having fatty liver syndrome or non-alcohol fatty liver syndrome is it's so important to balance that out. And so what I do with folks that have skin tags, number one, I check the sugars, make sure they're not insulin resistant, and then I clean up the liver. So again, cleaning up the liver, intermittent fasting is really important. Having protein, high protein, like a ketogenic carnivore type diet. Ketogenic carnivore type diet is huge for that, and minimizing your sugar intakes and carbohydrate intakes. So I put them on the Master Microbiotics formula, and then I'm loading people up on the Detox Pro Plus. If you have a blood sugar issue, maybe you're a diabetic as well, intermittent fasting and a ketogenic diet is a game changer for those people. The fasting sometimes can be difficult, and shifting your body from a sugar burner to a fat burner is huge. So the cell signal formula is a game changer for that. So great question, Miss Terry. I hope that helps answer your question. So I've got another one here. This is from Dr. Chari. Hey, Doc, how are you? Hope you're doing well. She says, could you share again regarding Master Microbiotics? How many Master Microbiotics that you personally take in a day, and when do you take the capsules? Do you need to start with 2 first? Great question. So here's what I'll tell you is, first of all, I've been working with gut microbiome now for almost 20 years, and getting the dose right for people, it's situationally dependent. Let me explain this first. So the recommended dose for this is 2 a day. Okay. And most people will take 2 a day in the morning. All right. That's what I want people to do, is 2 of them first thing in the morning. That will help people so much. Really, really, really will help with that. Now I take mine 2 in the morning and 2 at nighttime. I found for me personally that taking my Master Microbiotics at nighttime allowed my body to regrow the gut bacteria while I'm fasting, because I don't eat when I eat my last meal 6, 7 o'clock. I'm not going to eat again until 1 or 2 o'clock the next day. So that gives my body a chance, without having a bunch of other food sources or other stresses or other digestive processes going on, to regrow my gut microbiome. Now, the reason why the recommendation on the bottle is 2 in the morning is because I want people to get into habits. I want them to get into a habit every morning of getting 2 dropperfuls of the Detox Pro Plus and taking 2 of the Master Microbiotics with water, squeeze a lemon, and a little bit of sea salt to start their day. Now, Doc, just so you know, this combo together, the Detox Pro Plus and the Master Microbiotics, this also kills off biofilm. And that's a big deal. That's one of the reasons why when people take probiotics, they don't culture, they don't colonize, because we got to kill off that biofilm. And this formula also destroys candida, overgrowth, parasites, big time for parasites. This is what I use for parasites. These two together for parasites, depending upon how bad the person is, I might add a couple, other anti-parasitics to their protocol. But the Detox Pro Plus and the Master Microbiotics is what I put them on. Now, if I have someone, Doc, who has food poisoning, or they ate something that they're not agreeing with, they're bloated, they're gassy, they're distended. I had this happen to me over the Memorial Day weekend. We had a bunch of people over. I ate a piece of fruit that was sitting out for a while. I should have known better, but I did it anyway. And my stomach was a hot mess. So was my wife's. So I literally that day did 3 dropperfuls 3 times a day, 3 dropperfuls 3 times a day to bind, because the activated charcoal in here will bind a lot of those toxins and inflammation and bad gut bacteria. It'll bind that up, and I'll pass it out. And then I literally took 5 of these 3 times a day as well. And let's just say that later that day, I had a nice normal bowel movement and I was fine. Okay. So it's really pretty cool what you can do. Now, I wouldn't recommend taking a whole bottle of this. You don't need it, but it's not going to help. More is not always better. So use the recommended dose. It's a very strong dose, very specific dose of bacteria. And remember, we have the BPC 157 in it, which that peptide is normally produced in the gut bacteria mucosa in individuals who do not have leaky gut. So I hope that helps answer your question. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate that. Let's see. Here's an interesting question. Donna says, is there a product that has taken the place of the metabolic reset? So Donna's asking about a program that I did years ago called the Metabolic Reset Program, where I put people on a Simeon type diet. They had to be calorie restricted, 500 to 900 calories a day. They had to eat a certain type of food. They had to use a certain amount of amino acids in a liquid dropper. That was a phenomenal program. We literally helped tens of thousands of people lose hundreds of thousands of pounds. I mean, it was crazy, the results that we've gotten. Yes. So Donna, that program I call that, it's like Nintendo and now, or maybe better, that's like 8-track technology or record player technology. Now we're in digital download. So what I use now to replace the metabolic reset is exactly this right here. This is the reset challenge. It's 7 simple steps over 45 days. Use the cell reset peptide formula with that food plan, the guide, and there's a daily email that you'll get about it. I mean, it's a really robust, phenomenal program. So I hope that that you check that out. 45 Easy is amazing, and it's absolutely taken place of the reset that I used to do. By the way, I've made, this is my 5th iteration of a detox formula. I just published a study on my Detox Pro formula that reduced heavy metals, microplastics, inflammation. Well, this is my Detox Pro Plus. There's more goodies in here, and that's the She Legit that's going to even pull more out of the system. So this took place of my Warrior Water, then my Detox Pro, now Detox Pro Plus. This is phenomenal. Like, everybody should be on these two. I mean, oh my gosh, it's amazing. All right. Let's see. Here's another question. Type your questions in. We got about another 5 minutes. I'll try to get to some more if you have them. Teresa says, hey, is it really good for women to do intermittent fasting? Yes. Why would it not be good? Like, first of all, I'm going to say this with as much love and appreciation as I can. A lot of times people who you get the information from, whether they're social media influencers or maybe they've not, if they're not like the epitome of health that you want, don't take advice from them. Or if they're not a learned doctor, okay? I may not look like a female that you want to look like, but I do know this. And I know that intermittent fasting with a protein heavy diet will be phenomenal, okay? Phenomenal for women. I put almost every single woman in my practice over the age of 30 on intermittent fasting, a high protein diet. We pull the clutter out of their body. we build up the master microbiotics, we stimulate their cells with cell signal technology, and then we let their body go to work and let it do what it's supposed to do. So look, intermittent fasting can be a problem for people if they're not getting their quality of fats, carbs, and proteins in their diet. That's why you have to prioritize your macros and micros. If you're not taking and doing the right foods, you're not going to get better. There's a lot of people that lose weight, but they don't get healthier. They lose weight, not just fat, they lose muscle, and your muscle is your metabolism. So mixing intermittent fasting with a little bit of exercise, you're going to see a huge push over the next couple of months to years on physical activity. Turns out we do need PE. Turns out we should be working out. Turns out we do need to be pushing weights. Turns out we shouldn't be sitting all the time. Turns out that being in front of a green screen or a blue screen all the time is not good for your body. So yeah, so that's a great question. All right, one more. Anybody else have any final questions? Let me go through here. A lot of them already answered. Let's see. By the way, great to see you all from all over the world. We got people from Malaysia, from Japan, from all over the US, from Canada, from Japan, from Korea, from awesome. Uh, Okay, let's see. Good. I think I've answered all your questions. By the way, aloha, Wanda from Hawaii. Ron, yes, the DNA test results are available. You should be able to access those on your app now. If you don't have access to that, email customer service and we'll get that for you. We had to turn on some. Some of them weren't connected properly. All right, guys. Perfect. Okay, so listen, hey, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed tonight. Give me a thumbs up if you thought tonight was good and you got some information about this. So if you enjoy this or enjoy these workshops, share them with folks. They're on our website, usually a couple hours after we finish. They're live on biolimitless.com. If you go under the collections, you'll see our Wellness Wednesdays under there, and you can scroll through and look at the past several dozen of them that are there. And there's all kinds of health information on that biolimitless.com site that you can access and can really be a huge game changer for you, your friends, your family, and doctors, for your patients. So thank you all so much for our time together today. Please remember, next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time, I'll be here. I hope you're here as well. We're going to have some AMAs later this week. I'm going to be doing one on Friday at some time as well. And I'm going to jump on and you guys can ask me questions about anything from a health and wellness standpoint, because that's what I know and that's what I do. So folks, thank you so much for being here tonight. I appreciate all of you. And thanks, Teresa. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Until we meet again, folks, I'm Dr. Eric Naputi. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless this beautiful, beautiful world. Stay smart out there. And I'll see you next time. Have an amazing, amazing day. Goodbye, good night, and good day, everyone. Be well. See you all soon.